Hi, welcome to ThinkTech. We are raising public awareness on technology, energy, diversity, and globalism. This show is Center Stage. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, very proud managing director of Ballet Theatre. We are coming to you live from our new studio in Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu, very near Ballet Theatre. I am so elated to tell you that today I am talking with a woman by the name of Gloria Tuohy of Indiana Ballet Theatre and creator of and collaborator extraordinaire of the Community Classical Arts Center in Crown Point, Indiana. And I'm going to be Skyping with Gloria because she is in Indiana at the moment. Without further ado, welcome, Gloria.
Thank you.
I can't tell you how nice it is to see your face again.
Yes, very nice. I wish I could see you.
Well, you get to see me later. Gloria, there's a couple reasons that I'm really excited to have you on. One, I'm really anxious to hear where you are in the progress of the Classical Arts Center in Crown Point. That is a project very near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
But two, you do such amazing work in the community. Your work with Indiana Ballet Theatre is so inspiring. So I want to make sure we get to cover all of that ground.
Okay.
But first of all, I will say a little bit about my connection to the Classical Arts Center. You asked me to help you out with a grant proposal to help put a new roof on the building. This is a building where nurses lived next to a tuberculosis sanatorium. And this beautiful old building I remember seeing as a child. It was always fascinating to me. And it just fell out of repair little by little. I think for a little while the police used to use it for training. They'd cut holes in walls that they would climb through and move around. And that was really the last iteration of the building. Up until I became, it was given to Gloria with the promise that she needed to make significant improvements to that building within 10 years, and she did. It is this gorgeous old structure that is getting new life. It has new windows, it has a new roof, it has all sorts of support, and it is eventually going to house rehearsal space, performance space, studio space, offices for people devoted to the arts, and a cafe. How did I do, Gloria?
Good, yeah. The vision has expanded a little bit.
Yeah, well, where are you on the project now? Now, last I know that you got the roof on and the windows. What else has happened with the building structurally?
Yes. Well, also we got the tuck pointing and some of the masonry completed.
Oh, good.
And we're just recently now doing the storms that go on the windows. So,
fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah.
And are you expecting to be ready for occupation in 2016?
Well, what we're doing now is we've got it fully rented, including Social Arts, which is one of the largest arts organizations in Northwest Indiana. And with that, we've written a business plan, and the banks, we are trying to get the banks now to give us a loan, construction loan, so that we can complete the building and have occupancy by July of 2016.
That is so exciting. Back for the grand opening.
Oh, definitely send you an invite.
Oh, good. Good. So let's talk a little bit about where your inspiration came from to make this happen.
Well, it all began, of course, because, yes, after 36 years of Indiana Ballet Theatre and 9 ballets in my house, as far as costumes and props and scenery, we needed a place, and this just seemed like a wonderful place to start. And being a Georgian revival building, and it goes along with my English background. And so from there, it just expanded as I did programs like Leadership Northwest Indiana, and listened to people from the community and realized they need something more than just an arts building. They need a destination a place for people to relax and enjoy families. So it's now expanded into the grounds, and so that will be also have an outside pavilion as well as an inside Black Box Theatre and gardens and tea room. Go have the tea room.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I know that this is hard to put into words, but you grew up in England where I believe the arts are more insisted upon as a part of day-to-day life. And we didn't really have anything like that in Northwest Indiana. A lot of communities do not have that center where the focal point is.
Yeah.
We're just going to live and breathe some art here for a little while.
Yes, exactly. Wanting to pass on a legacy of what I grew up with, and I think it's very important, the part of where families meet and enjoy themselves together. I think I posed a question of some of the people like John Kane, who's the CEO of Social Arts, is how many times do you go out just to have a social activity, and how many times do you go out because it's part of business, and you're going to see just the right people at that event. And he had to say that every event he goes to is for business. And so that's really what made me really think we need to change things. And I've taken many of the students abroad to Italy and France and Germany and England, London, and they've had tours around buildings like this that have been renovated and used for the arts, and have become the real center of the community, a real hub, and including the gardens and the tea rooms and etc. So,
yeah.
that's where it came from. I grew up with all of that, and I really feel that it helps make a person who they are.
It does, doesn't it? And it's so hard to quantify that.
Yes, yeah.
I'm hoping that more and more, and I know there are organizations like MetLife is out there. Ooh, MetLife, Gloria, there's a grant you should be looking at. They're one of those they're one of those organizations. See, you can't take the grant writer out of the girl. They're one of those organizations who are really, from what I've seen, they're really trying to not only qualify but quantify the positive effect of art in our lives. Why is it so doggone important to our experience as a human? So you've been working on this project for 12 years.
Yes.
And you just won't quit.
No.
I love that. I love that. When you originally talked to me about this for almost 5 years ago, I thought that it was fascinating. I wanted to be a part of it. I think that I believe that it's absolutely. I had really high hopes that we were going to get that grant, but I honestly didn't know if it was going to happen, and I'm so proud of you for sticking with it. And you have such an amazing team. Do you want to talk a little bit about the team of people first of all, the types of people that you have working with you to support this?
Well, it takes a while to get the right type of people, but I think, somebody told me once something that's really cute is that if you hang in there for 20 years, you'll be an overnight success, and that's kind of true. And it takes a while. People come and go very quickly, and then some will stay. I now have a board of people that most of them I've known for 20 years or 30 years, and they're now really staying the course and really trying to help. And when you think that, why am I doing this? So many people have said, oh, she should stick to ballet. But it just at that point where you think, not sure I can really do this, somebody appears right in front of you, and they're just the technician or just the person that you need.
Yeah.
So you have to believe that, and it really happens. Never give up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When this center's open, nobody is going to be saying that Gloria Tuohy should have stuck to ballet. And
right.
when other communities see what it does and the type of life that that it attracts,
Right.
other communities are going to want the same thing. I mean, here in Honolulu, we don't have this sort of thing, and this is a city that does believe in its art, and we have a very rich art that you're not going to find anywhere else. We still don't have a center like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you really need that. And of course, with the South Shore Arts now, we'll get Northwest Indiana Symphony as well. So we'll have some really quality cultural, while still keeping the heart in it. I think you have to, that's the biggest part of it, is you have to believe in the vision, and then it's going to happen. And you'll meet the right people too, really well.
Do you have, okay, so let's talk a little bit about what is actually going to be in the building. You have the offices for South Shore Arts, and the symphony will be there. You said you had a black box theater.
Right.
You're going to have some rehearsal space. Is I think the plan was originally for the third floor to be Indiana Ballet Theatre.
Yes, of which we'll share when we're not using it. Other people can rent the space also. And the goal is for everybody to work together so that everybody's successful. And of course, with the ballet students, we bring in 200 people weekly. So everybody, and they've all got brothers and sisters which will enjoy all of the other. We've got Tom Grows Strings, which he not only teaches violin, he also makes them. So that will be really a special person to have. And my daughter right now, she's actually doing a major in dance physical therapy, so we're also to be able to offer things to help cure people of what technology makes of them. We love technology, but I also watch many children that sort of corner themselves from the world in technology, and they're not out there, they're not doing things that people should be doing. So you have to have a balance, and I'm hoping that this will make the balance.
Yeah, I knew exactly what you're saying. I'm sitting here with a backache from looking at the computer for too long.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about. That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have... and you have studio space. I knew you wanted to have studio space for painters and sculptors. Do you have anyone of that ilk moving in?
Yes, we do. Actually, we have one of the people, Lee Berman. She actually was the CEO of the Port County Symphony Orchestra, but she's now given that up, and now she's painting and drawing and wants space in the building.
Awesome.
So there'll be individual artists as well as a gallery, and also a carvery, because I think along with our healthy lifestyle of dance and the arts, we also need to eat more. Carvery is something that looks very European, and they have a chef with sides of different meats, so people will always be able to get a nice Sunday dinner.
Interesting.
Day of the week. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, Gloria, we need to go to our first commercial, so please hang in there with me.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to continuing the conversation. You are joining us here on Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii Digital Series. We're talking with Gloria Tuohy of the Indiana Ballet Theatre and Classical Arts Center in Northwest Indiana, and we will be right back.
Okay, this is ThinkTech Hawaii, and it's Wednesday. Every Wednesday is Energy Wednesday here in Hawaii, the state of clean energy, 4 to 5 p.m. every Wednesday. Come and listen to us. And just to show you what I mean, I'm going to ask Sharon to tell us more.
Come and see us every Wednesday, as Jay said. And we have people like Jim Albers from HECO here, and co-host Ray Starling here every Wednesday. We not only go on Olelo and OC16, but also stream live. So please come visit us, hear about the latest in clean energy.
Okay, Jim, you've been here. You got any comment on all this?
As important as energy is in all of our lives today, this is a great forum and a great format to vet those issues. So I encourage everybody to listen in and participate.
Okay, Ray, what do you think for a close?
Well, I think this is the greatest show in the energy world here in Hawaii. You can come here every week, 1 hour, and catch the latest on what's happening and hear from the people who really know what's going on, like Jim Alberts. We appreciate your coming today. Thank you.
Ray Starling, Sharon Moriwaki, Jim Alberts, and Jay Fidel here in Hawaii, the state of clean energy, 4 to 5
Aloha.
p.m. Wednesday. Aloha.
Aloha.
Hi, I'm Ethan Allen. I host Likeable Science on ThinkTech Hawaii, and I do this because I care about science literacy in Hawaii. I want to spread the understanding that science is a vital and interesting part of everyone's life. I want to make sure the broadest possible spectrum of people understand the beauty and the value of science and realize that science plays out each and every day of their lives. I want you to understand that science is fun. So we bring onto this show each week guests who are scientists, from astronomers to zoologists, and we talk about what they do and how they do it. But most importantly, we talk about why you should care about their work, why you should see that their work has value and impact on your life. So I hope you'll join us Fridays, 1 p.m. here on ThinkTech Hawaii. You can watch us via live stream. You can watch us recorded on Olelo, and you can see us each week. We hope you'll join us.
Oh, and we're live. Hi, we're back. Like I said, this is a whole new studio here, so things are working a little differently, and we're getting a few things hooked up while we go. So welcome back to Center Stage. We're talking with Gloria Tuohy of Indiana Ballet Theatre and the Classical Arts Center in Crown Point, Indiana, which is going to be opening in 2006. I can't wait for the grand opening. I'm going to start saving my Hawaiian Airlines miles right now, so I can come out and see you. Gloria, do you mind if I ask about rents for the spaces in the building?
You can ask.
Okay, if I wanted to get in there and have a space to teach acting classes a couple nights a week, would that be something I could do there?
Yes, certainly would. I can't say I could give you a quote figures right now because we've got somebody else who's working on the marketing and business plan, and I'm not quite familiar with all of the figures he's been working on.
Oh, I gotcha. And way to delegate. You have to do that. You have so many things going on. That's one of the things I learned from you is you are very good at saying, here's my part that I do very well, and then doing your best to align yourself with others who supported you outside of that.
Yes.
And that's brilliant, and that's absolutely what's required for anyone who wants to open an art center or successfully run any nonprofit organization. And I'm so happy to hear that. I think that it sounds like you're saying that you successfully made a transition to a board that is gone from being more of an artistic board to a governance and finance fundraising board.
Exactly. Yes. Now we have 10 members on the board, which is, I always only had about 5, so we're still growing as we go.
That is amazing. That is quite an accomplishment, as anyone in the 501c3 world can attest to make that jump it's something that we're working on here with my theater and moving forward with it, but you're closer to the other side of the rainbow than I am, so congratulations. Okay, that's cool. I understand you can't talk about rents. I'm sure that you are doing what you can to make sure that those spaces are affordable for artists.
Exactly, yeah.
And
like I said, we want everybody to be successful.
Right. Well, and at the same time, you have to make sure that you keep the lights on and the heat on in Northwest Indiana, and the air conditioner the other months out of the year. So, how close are you to capacity right now?
Well, we've fully rented, all the space in there at this point in time. They're just promises that, they all really want to come in.
Oh, wonderful.
Even the tea room, we have somebody for that as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. So Gloria, well, we have some pictures Zuri's going to put up, and I'm not sure whether or not you are going to be able to see them. Picture number 1 is the oldest picture I could find of the building. And I believe that some of the windows are already being worked on. Let's see, we're not quite there yet. Let's see if we can get, there it is. No problem. So this is, Gloria, I think this is when I came onto the project. We're about at that point. Some of the windows are boarded up. There's a sign saying that it's the future home of the Art Center. This beautiful old building. What I will never forget about touring around inside of it, and you can go to picture number 2 when you're ready, Zuri. What I remember touring around inside of it, there we go. That's quite dramatic. This is one of the rooms. This is one of the rooms that did not quite have a floor anymore.
Right.
We saw curtains hanging there.
Right.
Curtains from the nurses. Now we're looking at one of the community rooms downstairs. I didn't know until I worked on this project that there used to be tuberculosis sanatoriums all over the country. And most of them they would build a lovely family home for the doctor who would live there. And then there was also a nurse's home that would be built nearby that would house 3 young ladies to a small room, and they would have a community room for every so many women, and showers for every so many women. Now we're looking at a shot that you can see some targets. This is part of the remnants of the police having been in there and building little obstacle courses for themselves. Just the story of the nurses' home and the sanatoriums itself, I thought was really fascinating. Okay, so that's all for our pictures.
Yeah.
So let's, if you don't mind, Gloria, I'd like to.
Did you
Oh, we do. You know what? We have a picture of the rendering for the finished product. There we go. With the car in front. So this will be the front of it. Behind will be gardens. Beside it is a lovely little cafe. And anybody who's driven through Crown Point, Indiana, knows this building, and certainly anyone my age or older is probably very, very anxious to see what's next for this gorgeous building.
Mm-hmm. And does it show the sculpture that I saw?
Oh, no.
So I actually saw, I was on a plane to England and saw a sculpture of an upside-down woman in a bikini. But, so I had one of my dancers put on a unitard, which is a body leotard, and her point shoes, and she modeled, and we were going to do that sculpture in a dancer format.
Oh.
And, people say to me, well, I'm not sure Northwest Indiana is ready for something like that. But, I said, you have to have the beam. In Chicago, for anybody that knows Chicago, they have Millennium Park, that would just be a park if it didn't have the beam. And so the goal is to have something that people will talk about and go and share and have other people come back to see. So not only will you have this cultural center and all of the programs and the picturesque building of this Georgian revival historic building, but you will also have this amazing sculpture.
Oh, wonderful. Who's going to be doing the work?
On the sculpture, I'm not quite sure yet.
Oh.
We have 2 or 3 people planning the building.
Awesome. So, yeah, this would be a good time for me to say that anyone who, once this center is open, anyone who's visiting Chicago, it's a very easy trip down the Dan Ryan, down I-94 to get into Crown Point, the county seat.
Yes.
Cruise in, and just on the north side of town, you'll see this gorgeous building. I love Crown Point altogether. Yeah.
It is actually, Donna, the last remaining nurses' home in the world.
That's right. That's right. And it has had very few structural changes on the outside main.
Right.
So, in its own right, it's a historical landmark.
Right.
Yeah. Gloria, do you mind if we shift gears? I'd like to talk about you a little bit. now.
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about, tell us about IBT. The work is so amazing that you do with the kids and as well as adults in Northwest Indiana.
Oh,
Can you talk a little bit
that's
about?
where I begin.
Where do you begin? Well, let's start from an outside person's perspective. You post that you're having auditions for your shows, and you do full out, completely costumed, gorgeous, lavish ballets at. You're performing at the Radisson Star.
Yes.
Usually, so people come to audition for you. Do they have to have ballet experience to be in your show?
No, not necessarily. There's quite a lot that don't. In fact, we actually have had kids with autism, blind children, all kinds that have participated, but you would never know once they get on the stage because we have people helping them. But, anybody that wants to participate can. Obviously, the main roles have to be dancers, and many of them are guest dancers from New York City Ballet or many very well-known professional entities.
That's amazing. Not only do they get to be a part of a ballet, this is not a ballet in someone's basement. This is the premier stage in Northwest Indiana that Liberace has been on many times. I saw the Mamas and the Pop, or the Peter, Paul, and Mary. I saw Peter, Paul, and Mary there. It's the premier stage, and it is lavishly costumed, and it is a major ballet that they get to be a part of, and I imagine that is life-changing for some of these people.
It is, yeah. And we collaborate with so many groups like Boys and Girls Clubs and the Safe Harbor program in Michigan City and Girl Scout programs that we do where they get the patch for coming, and they not only come, they have, we do a sampler, a dance class on the stage. They get a tour around backstage before they watch the performance. And then many schools that come, they write in afterwards and send pictures, and they do studies at school, depending on which ballet we're doing. So we now have 9 ballets that we've done. We've actually taught over 8,000 students. We probably reached about 530,000 audiences in the course of time.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people who might not have had the opportunity to experience ballet on any level without that.
Exactly.
So I'm not so. I know that you don't do any of this for the acclaim or support. You didn't start this company so that someday the community would embrace your efforts to have an arts center. But you are exactly the person that everybody's going to want to support because the work that you do is so from your heart and so enriching to the community that I'm not surprised that you're going to be able to make this miracle project happen.
Yeah.
You're the person to do it. So let's talk about how how did you come to the United States?
Well, I came to visit a girlfriend that I grew up with in England. So, and of course I met my then future husband. That obviously wasn't my husband at the time, but 40 years later.
40 years later, here you are. Okay, we need to go to our second break. When we come back, I want to start right there and talk about your trajectory with Indiana Ballet, okay? We'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining us on Center Stage. Please stay put. We'll be with you again soon.
Aloha, my name is Josh Green. I'm a senator from the Big Island and the ER physician. Every other Tuesday, I get to host a show here on the ThinkTech program about healthcare. We call it Healthcare in Hawaii. It's really enjoyable for me to bring other healthcare leaders from around the state to talk about our pressing issues. Hawaii has long been the health state, but we need to keep up the momentum, the inertia, and with your help and with your participation, we can come and share all of the big issues that are pressing day to day. Thanks for joining us every Tuesday, alternating weeks from 2 to 2:45.
Hi, aloha. My name is Chris Leatham, and I host a show called The Economy and You. The show plays every Wednesday at noon, and on my show, I bring on guests who are interested or working in the technology space. And so I'd like you to come and watch the show and learn with me about all the sort of exciting things that we're doing in Hawaii to build and grow our economy ecosystem. So I'd like to say aloha, and I look forward to seeing you on the show. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii Digital Series. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, proud Managing Director of Kumukuhui Theatre. We're coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza, our new studios, very near Kumukuhui Theatre in the heart of downtown Honolulu. And I want to let you know, if you would ever like to join us in our downtown studio, you can. You just need to email Jay, that's J-A-Y, at thinktechhawaii.com. We're talking with Gloria Tuohy of Indiana Ballet Theatre and the Classical Arts Center in Crown Point, Indiana. And Crown Point, Indiana is about a 45-minute drive out of Chicago. For those people who don't, 45 minutes out of Chicago this way, and Lake Michigan that way, and Michigan that way. Crossroads. Gloria, thank you so much for being in there. This interview is going by way too quickly, and I want to make sure. I don't think I have ever heard your story of. I'm assuming that when you came to the United States, you were a dancer. You had studied dancing.
Yes, I was in a ballet company in London.
Okay, so you came here.
I wasn't currently dancing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you came to visit your girlfriend, and you met a handsome, dashing fellow who swept you off your feet?
On the beach.
Oh, that's wonderful. Did you leap into his arms? Please tell me that you did. At some point. Did you just stay then? After?
No. I had to go back because I only had a visitor's visa. Okay. But he got a job at the British consulate and enrolled me in a secretarial college and told me to come on back. So I did. So in order to survive here and have a job, because I couldn't initially until I got my green card, that's when I opened the ballet school. And so I had, I think 5 students in my basement. That's where all of it started.
Oh, my.
Now I have 2 schools and a ballet company and amazing growth.
Oh, my, yes. Well, and you have, tell me where your 2 schools are.
One is actually in Maryville, Indiana at this time, and the other one is in DeMont, Indiana.
Oh, okay. So that's quite spread out. You're reaching a lot of kids.
Yes. And we, sometimes I do programs in Michigan City with the Safe Harbor program. I taught there for maybe 2 years.
And
as well.
How did you come to, where was the idea, where did that come from to say we're going to rent out the largest and most expensive theater space in Northwest Indiana? It's not cheap to put a show on in there.
They cost about $90,000 to put on. It's just if there's a door that opens, I have to jump in with 2 feet. And at that time, there was a running Nutcracker program at the Erie Crown Theatre in Chicago, and they lost their funding. So at that same time, I went into the Star Plaza and said, "Would you believe in me if I brought it here?" And he said, "Yes." So that's how that all began.
Oh, my. And you started up, what was your first ballet? What was your first ballet there? Cinderella. And did you start off using primarily your students then?
Yes. It started very small, and we actually did it for muscular dystrophy. We used to give them the money, and we used to have their poster child come in, and we did a lot of promotion for them. And then it just took off. It just kind of natural. And then when I did the Nutcracker there, we just booked 1 show, and that filled up. We ended up having 2 shows that same day. The following year, we went to 2 days and 4 shows, and we've been doing that. It's been 20 years now.
Oh, my. And Gloria, I know that for those who aren't familiar with Northwest Indiana, Gary, Indiana, which has been a very troubled city in the United States, I don't think it is anymore, but it used to be per capita the crime capital of the United States. It's had some rough times, but you've done a lot of work there as well. You've done a lot of work to make sure that you are encouraging students from that area as well.
Correct, yes.
And
in Chicago and Gary.
Yeah, what I find amazing, and I heard this from a woman who works in community mural projects, and
yes.
they go into some difficult neighborhoods and where you might think there would be a problem with graffiti, with someone defacing some of this mural work, they never have that problem there. When a community is brought together to work on an art project, so much respect is given to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd actually like to do something like that, have a wall that's a ceramic design of the story of Crown Point, because it has a lot of history with the gangsters and that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they all caught John Dillinger. So we'd like to do, have the children do an artistical program and do something like that as well.
Oh, wonderful. How wonderful. When did you initially start casting kids who had no dance experience whatsoever? Did you do that from the very beginning?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, we're having a little trouble with Skype, but we're both being very patient here.
Breaking up.
I would wait. Sorry about that, Gloria. When did you initially start casting kids who didn't have any dance experience whatsoever?
Well, I think, again, I think you have some children out there that really don't know what it's like to come to a ballet. You know, I find that primarily it's a steel industry in Northwest Indiana, mostly it's blue collar. So bringing in classical ballet is very difficult. Very difficult to sell. It wasn't a quick seller. It's not like we're next to a university or in a big city. It's a very small area, very rural. And so to reach out to those children and have them excited, it's like they were sponges. You know, they just, we'd go into the schools and take some dancers there to talk about it all. And to see the excitement on those children's faces. And when they finally make it to the stage as well, we do take some productions on the road to different areas. And we use children from those areas as well. You know, we'll try and get like 50 children from each area we go to, and they just love it, you know. And then I've seen some of those children like 20 years down the line, and they've grown up now, and they'll come up to me and say, "I remember when I was a mouse in the Cinderella or the Nutcracker or whatever." So it's wonderful to know that they kept that memory and it meant something to them.
Oh, yeah, of course they do. Gloria, I thoroughly believe that you are changing lives. You know, you're helping shape these people. I really think so.
Thank you.
Yeah, before we go any further then, your website is ibt.org, is that correct?
IBTNW.org.
IBTNW.org. And if anyone would like to go to that web address, there are ways for you very easily to support the work of the Indiana Ballet Theatre and the Classical Arts Center. And whether you live in the area or not and are going to be able to take advantage of it in person, it's definitely a worthwhile cause. And And I really hope, I know that you're getting the support that you're getting because people recognize the import of what you're doing in people's lives, not only for those little lives that you're helping to shape, but for all of those lives that are going to be touched by the Classical Arts Center. You're a really special person. I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to work with you.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gloria. And I'm gonna, keep me, I still get your emails. You can also sign up for the, to get the newsletter when you go to ibtnw.org. Thank you so much, Gloria. It's been lovely speaking with you.
Thank you. Yes, you too, then.
And I look forward to seeing you. Look forward to seeing you at the opening. Thank you very much for being here. There's a few more people that I would like to thank. Our studio engineer, Zuri Bender, who is in my ear. Our floor manager, Sachi Slomov, who's right over there. Thank you, Sachi. I would like to thank Jay Fidel and everyone who helped with the studio move. It may not look that different to you out there, but it is absolutely beautiful, and it's an honor to work in this new studio. And we hope to see you back here next week for Center Stage. Bye.
Hi, I'm Jay Fidel of ThinkTech Hawaii. Won't you consider helping ThinkTech? We're a 501c3 Hawaii nonprofit corporation, now in our 15th year. Our model and very existence depends on ongoing contributions from our underwriters. We are very appreciative for their support. We're hoping you will consider becoming one of our ThinkTech underwriters. Unless our underwriters prefer to be anonymous, we publicize them on thinktechhawaii.com and on our daily email program, sent to some 7,500 subscribers, our live stream talk shows, and our OC16 productions. With help from our underwriters, we have developed a high-tech video studio in Pioneer Plaza, and we now live stream 25 talk shows per week, covering science, tech, energy diversification, community, sustainability, and globalism for Hawaii. And we stream our earlier shows all night long. Our live stream is on thinktechhawaii.com. Check it out. We also upload all our shows to youtube.com, where we get 18,000 views per month. And we broadcast 12 hours per week on Olelo 54 and 3.5 hours per week on OC16. We also do monthly luncheon panel programs at the Laniakea, and we write a monthly column for the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. We're really active. Our plans this year include improving the coverage, content, and production values of all of our programs, and including more issues and guests relating to the neighbor islands, either by Skype or in person. If you agree with our mission, I hope you'll consider helping us. If you have any questions about any of our activities, or if you'd like to discuss our underwriter arrangements, please write to me at j@fidel.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much for considering this suggestion, maybe even including you among our underwriters. Mahalo, I'm Jay Fidel of ThinkTech Hawaii, and I approve this message. If you approve of it also, please give us a call.